Our next speaker, you know him very, very well. He's a close co-worker of mine, a friend, and he also often tells me that I look too friendly and I need to shave my head. That won't happen, Peter. Anyway, he's going to talk about how to kill your colleagues and get away with it. So welcome the man himself, Peter Burman.
In the beginning, it was all dark. And now we will talk about something that I think that you all have the feeling sometimes, at least some days, that you want to kill your colleagues and get away with it. So we'll come back to that. Okay, so what I will talk about today, it is very simple. Why we at Boliden are the best and yet most humble. Then I will give you the opportunity also to choose a part of my presentation, how to move forward, what I'm supposed to talk about. And then I will talk about something called Project Kite Shield, and to keep you in the room, how to kill your colleagues. Some of you seem a little bit too interested about the last topic, though. Okay, you have all seen this bragging picture. I guess that our own management are using this quite a lot. I think it is in the corporate presentations all the time. It shows that we have among the highest productivity in our mines in the whole world. And the reason, Patrick is just looking at it because I think we could discuss how this is calculated. I think that's why you are smiling. But nevertheless, you could then claim that this is because that we are so hardworking, we are so intelligent, and that we are better than other mining companies. That said, I have my doubts. So what is the reason behind that we seem to succeed to keep at least some sort of level of productivity? So what I did was I used the old tool. It's called Google. It's not as good as O1, but nevertheless, so I searched on the press releases together with our main partner companies. Rickard, feel ages ago, but nevertheless, this was the press release. I guess that you were involved. Komatsu, Europe announced the sales of the first front-runner system in Europe. We can go on. We have people that have talked already today about the cooperation with Volvo regarding autonomous vehicles. We had the first installation of, I think, the combination of an autonomous or automated LHD that was battery powered together with Sandvik. Our friends in Kevitsa seems to have bought autonomous drill rigs. If you then move on, probably most of you are aware of the Rävliden project where we have autonomous and trolley battery powered machines that are coming up. And of course, we have also research projects going on together with Epiroc and I think it's Örebro University regarding situation awareness around drill rigs to increase the capabilities of tunnel drilling. And of course, last but not least, the oldest project of these ones. It is an autonomous truck that we tested in, I think it was Garpenberg. And this project, and I know that we have a lot of people from Epiroc, it was a failure. And it didn't be because the truck didn't work. And we'll come back to that. Epiroc had done a really good job. And just to equalize everything, we have a Sandvik truck in another mine, and we have the same problem. But it's not that the truck is not working. So we'll come back to that. Okay, now you can choose. What do you want me to talk about? Mikael Staffar's haircut, how we all can increase our salary or functional safety. That said, regarding the haircut, you know that my presentation, the last tech talk, that we asked the AI, and it must be true, that being bald is more eco-friendly. So you can see that our CEO, at least he has made some effort here for the environment. And I talked to our business area manager before he left, and I said that, have you seen Stefan Rommedal, all the hair? That he seemed not to be loyal with the cause. So what do you want me to talk about? Oh. It seems to be a consensus that you want to talk about functional safety. Yeah, so we do that. Okay, guys. You know, I have been in charge of this research program for many years now. So I was the program manager when we had the hype of autonomous driving, self-driving cars. And we had a cooperation with Volvo, and we still have. But that said, if you look at this setup that they have of all the autonomous vehicles, I think this picture might be 6-7 years ago, something like that. You can see at least the 3 vehicles on your left-hand side is not in production. So, it's a reason behind that. You have seen the Gartner hype curves that we all like at Boliden. And to be quite honest, self-driving cars and autonomous trucks are to some extent in the valley of despair right now. So if you then move on, we have a proof of that I got from Christian Grante. He looked into the shares of some of these startup companies that was really hyped 6-7 years ago. And you can see they have not really been successful. I mean, you can see that stock has gone down, and the stock prices, with one exception, and it's NVIDIA. But that said, do you believe that that is because of the self-driving car capabilities or the fact that they are the biggest supplier of AI chipsets? I think you have the answer. Okay, so what are we supposed then to do if we want to move on here? And what is the reason behind all these problems with autonomous and self-driving cars? Yeah, this is the fundamental problem. I talked about it in the last tech talk. How to make an environment where robots and humans can coexist. Because in the environment where we have human beings, it could be a bit confusing for the robots. Because what we try to avoid here, it is accidents. And to put that in some sort of perspective, I asked the latest ChatGPT model, O1, how much do workplace accidents affect Sweden's average life expectancy? And you can see that if we reduce all the accidents, we can gain on a population level about a week, maybe 2. So what is really the problem here? Because if you then start to be more flexible and look at other problems we have or challenges we have on an individual level, you can see that alcohol, obesity, and lack of exercise seem to be much more dangerous. So why even bother about work safety? Because we have regulations. We have standards to live up to. And to be quite honest, the fact that you kill yourself by eating too much, drinking too much, it's something that is on you. But when you go to your workplace, you want, and I think you have the right to feel safe. So just to get some sort of foundation when it comes to risk, I ask the following question. What is the risk per hour of dying in a traffic accident? Once again, these calculations has been done of the AI, and it was pretty cool because, Christian, you made the same thing. And you ended up on very much the same level. Yeah. So you can see the chance for when you, or risk, it depends. Maybe it is the chance if it's somebody else that you don't like. But nevertheless, 1 in 8 million. How does that relate to the requirements we have from the laws, etc.? Yeah, then when it comes to the safety systems, you have 2 ways of proving something safe. One is that you have look at standards. That is more like best practices. And you could also do formal proof by mathematical proof that something is safe. Or, I mean, we have a lot of computer guys there. Don't you like the left-hand side, statistics? I mean, number crunching. I mean, we have data, we have computers, so we can do a lot of number crunching. So here you can see you have 2 different standards here, performance level and you also have seal classifications. And I need to tell you, we don't go into details, but when it comes to dangerous machines, you need to have the highest level that I've rated here, number 3. And you can see that 10 to the power of -7, that is 1 in 10 million. So you see, the requirements we have from the authorities, it's not that they are outrageous. They seem to be ballpark figures. They seem to be reasonable. So what is then the problem? Okay, you know this with statistics. Because if you then look into how to prove that something is 20% better than the fatality rate that we have today, then you end up that you need to drive 1 billion miles. That is like 400,000 roundabouts around the globe. And if you think about that to get some other perspective, it is that we in Sweden, if we started to prove our Viking ships, we will still be sailing. And then you that know about maths, you say, yeah, but it's so many ships. Couldn't you combine the data and fix this quicker? No, you can't. Because one thing's for sure, the Viking ships were built on, they were not standardized. They were built on individual ways. They were all unique. And you know, the bummer with this statistical proof is that all the participants in the test must be similar. And if you change them, you need to start over. So, now you're sitting there. Peter, you're not really helping here. What is it that you try to prove, that we can't build safe systems? No, because our suppliers already today provide safe systems, because they have solved the problem already. It's called robotic cells. We take the humans out of the equation, because if no one is there, they can't be hurt. So we create a robotic cell, and you can look at it in one way, it is that we lock people out, or the robots out from each other. Did that help? What? Why did you have all these arguments when we have a solution? It doesn't really make sense. Peter, move on. We want to have fika. Remember this project. Why did it fail? Then we need to talk about the thrombosis syndrome. On the left-hand side, you can see a normal mine, and you can see that some sort of robotization is going on, probably in the production phase. It makes sense, for example, to have a robotic cell around a drill rig, because it's not moving, and it's very hard to have a reason to bypass the drill rig. For example, in tunnel drilling, it doesn't really make sense, because it's just a rock face. But what happens if you start to have vehicles that is moving around, like an LHD? Because then it starts to get a little bit more complex. But you can, at least the first LHD you buy, you can always put out in the production areas where it isn't in the way for something else. But what is happening when you buy a truck from Sandvik or Epiroc? I need to make them equal so they don't go after me after the presentation. It is that you need, for example, in the production area, that you need to seal off the ramp system or the decline. And then suddenly you have a blood clot, a thrombosis in your circulation, in your logistical system. They can't pass by. So that is really the problem. Now we are doing investments in this trolley system in the Rävliden. For you who don't know, can see once again on the left-hand side for you, it is that we are building a ramp or a decline for automatic or transportation with trucks. And we can dig deeper into this specific project, but we have done some simulation. We've made a simulation. What happens if you make the whole ramp as one robotic cell? Here you can see, if you send in, for example, a pickup truck with people every 50 minutes, then you can see that the productivity drops, the utilization of the trucks drops under 80%. But if you have disturbances coming in, for example, every 10 minutes, then your production started to go down to 0. So it's something here that we have a problem with, and it is the safety systems. But I'm so happy we might have a solution.
Kite Shield, dedicated system boosting safety with potential to enhance daily operational productivity. The increasing need to mix automated and manually driven vehicles in today's underground mining operations creates risks for both personal and operational safety. That's why we've created a bespoke safety system utilizing ultra-wideband radio properties, providing a solution that enables entities to navigate swiftly around tunnels. Its principle is to cover the entire surface of the mine with a UWB signal, so that vehicles can be located even on the most winding routes. Ultra-wideband anchors are located in defined places along the tunnels, covering the mine with radio signals, enabling communication with moving entities. Ultra-wideband tags placed on moving vehicles are sending signals while on the go, which then travels to the anchor's net located in the tunnels. Kite Shield system measures the distance between a tag and strategically positioned anchors located on the walls. Known distances between anchors and moving entities result in the calculation of dynamic safety bubbles that hover around vehicles. System ensures that the entity comes to a complete and safe stop while in risk of engaging with another moving object on a crash course. Thanks to that, there is no longer a need to close down large parts of the mine. In a way, we're creating a personalized robotic cell. Anchors are scattered throughout the mine, covering it with a UWB signal to ensure safety, even at T-crossing sections. Our system is now in the deployment phase, during which we are testing the results received by reproducing various real-world scenarios performed on our simulation platform. Here you can see safety bubbles calculated in real time as vehicles move along an underground tunnel, sending UWB signals from their tags to a network of anchors positioned in a zigzag pattern on the walls. It enables performing the crucial test of two operated vehicles heading toward each other on collision courses. Such behavior leads to the crossing of calculated safety bubbles, which triggers a stopping mechanism, ensuring the safety of operations. Personal safety of people working inside mines is also our top priority. To test this, we recreated a scenario in which a moving vehicle approaches a human equipped with a UWB tag and stops at a defined safe distance from the worker. Kite Shield is an innovative safety system based on ultra-wideband, designed specifically for autonomous vehicles and mixed traffic. Its unique capability to detect moving vehicles even behind the walls of T-crossings ensures the highest safety standards for daily operations. That makes it the system of choice for future-oriented businesses.
But of course, it isn't that simple. So we can make it more complicated, because I think that's what you are really after. I mean, in one way, it seems like we are only doing the positioning. But the positioning as such, it has been done for a long period of time. So that's not new. What we really are doing in this case, it is that we are looking also at the errors. So when we do this first calculation of the area, where what we really are doing is that we can prove that we are in this circle, the measurement plus the error. And we can prove that we are in that area. So that when we measure from different anchors, we can for sure say that we are in this area where we have the intersection. And in this case, you can see when we do this kind of calculation, or the simulation tools that we are using, you can see that this yellow spot is also the volume where the machine or the tag must be. And then we add the size of the machine, the blue area, and on top of that, we're adding the dynamics of the machine. It is the speed and the braking, so to speak. So, the construction is already ongoing. I guess that we even have new slides that are better, Emil, that we will show tomorrow at our conference, at the Kite Shield conference. And I've been told that we have some mathematical proofs. So I'm really happy to say that I don't understand the math. So I think we talk about something else instead. Just trust me, it seems like it will be working. I know that you have been waiting. To be honest with you, I had another ending of my presentation a while ago. But then I realized after talking to chat that it was quite obvious that we already have the proof, we have the numbers. When it comes to how to kill your colleagues and get away with it, you just help them to get bad habits, and then you just lean back and wait. So, my friends, in summary, the lack of good safety system is a productivity problem, not the safety problem. Because the system that our suppliers are selling to us already today, they are safe, but they are a productivity problem. And then, that was the message to all of you. Then I have a message on the right-hand side to our partner companies for the conference tomorrow. Kite Shield, it is the golden egg, and you will get it for chicken feed. So, in the beginning, it was all dark. Now we can see the light in the end of the tunnel. It's the train coming, and it's written Mine Automation all over it. Thank you.